Okay, we're on page 7, and these are Alex problems or Alex type problems, and I already filled things in to save time of this video. First question, 27, we're just asked to compute the discriminant and describe the solution. So since there's a 0 there, a, b, and c, 3, 4, negative 2, goes b squared, take away 4 times a times c, which becomes 16, take away negative 24. That gives us a positive 40. With a positive discriminant, that means there are 2 real solutions. Question 28 is the same equation, but now we're asked to give exact solutions. Exact solutions means if you get a square root, you don't change it to a decimal and round off. You leave it as the square root. So if you plug everything in here, a, b, and c, it's the same thing. And so, of course, we still get the discriminant 40. There's the 2 times a. 2 times 3 is 6. Square root 40 should be noticed that square root 40 can be factored into root 4, root 10, which becomes 2 root 10. So writing it that way, then we're supposed to notice that 1, 2, 3, all 3 terms can be divided by 2. So divide this by 2, you get negative 2. Divide this by 2, you get 1. So now it's just 1 square root 10. We don't bother to write the 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So there's the exact solution written like that. Separated out for typing into Alex, it's going to look like this. Okay? And then when it says give solutions rounded to the nearest hundredth, it means, well, take what you wrote for question 28 and put it in the calculator very carefully. Now remember, this square root 10, that's like 3 point, it's a little bigger than square root 9, which would be exactly 3. So the square root of 10 is like 3 point something. And if you do negative 2 plus 3 point something, you should get a little more than 1 over 3. This first answer should come out about 1/3, which would be a repeating decimal. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. But I'm making a fuss here because I want you to not make this mistake. If I type in negative 2 plus square root 10 and then divide by 3, this is wrong. Remember, I just said the answer should come out about 1/3. It's coming out negative 9.9. What went wrong? What went wrong is the way I typed this in. The calculator thinks I mean add negative 2 to the number you get from dividing the square root of 10 by 3. See, only the root 10 is getting divided by 3. What I need are some lovely parentheses, negative 2 plus square root 10, and here the next parentheses is to finish the square root, and then there's one more parentheses needed to finish the numerator, the top of the fraction. Now divide by 3, and see that's a 0.3333. That would be 1/3. It's coming out a little more than 1/3, like we sort of ballpark predicted. Okay. Now rounding that to the nearest hundredth. Where's the hundredths? Trying to get this in the, there we go. That's the tenths, that's the hundredths. Next digit is 5 or more. We round up, so I would say 0.39. Hey, want to see a trick? I don't want to type all this in again for the next one. I just want to change this to takeaway instead of add. So if you hit second and then enter, see, it brings back the expression we just had, but now it will allow you to use the arrow key and get on top of that and change that to subtract instead of add. And then we get the other decimal version of the solution. The 2 is in the hundredths place. Next digit is telling us round down. So negative 1.72. Negative 1.72 for the rounded to the hundredth version of that. Okay? And then number 30, 30, 31, and 32 are just like 27, 28, and 29. Except here, there's a little hinky thing to notice. We don't want to use 6, -2, and 1 because we don't have the 0 over here yet. Watch out for that sneaky little thing. So you got to add 2x and take away 1 from both sides. Get it so all the terms are on one side and 0 is on the other. Now we can say a is 6, b is 2, c is -1. So there's your b squared minus 4 times a times c, which becomes 4. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 6 times -1 is -24. 4, take away -24, changes to add 24, it becomes 28. So with a discriminant of positive 28, we would say 2 real number solutions. 2 real number solutions. And then just like we did with the first group of exercises, we want exact solutions. So it's the opposite of b. Remember, I should have wrote this, sorry. I'm sorry, -1. Right there. The b is positive 2, so there's the opposite b, plus or minus the b squared minus 4ac, which we computed up there, all over 2 times the a number, 2 times 6, 12. Okay? And square root of 28 can be simplified a little bit. That's the same as root 4 root 7, which becomes 2 root 7. We now have -2 plus or minus 2 root 7 over 12. Divide everything by 2, which makes that a -1, and makes that 1 root 7, and makes that 6. And finally, solutions to the nearest hundredth. We're going to do the same thing again. First I need this piece of paper to cooperate. Stay paper. Bad boy. I need to wrap the numerator in parentheses. So parentheses, -1 plus square root of 7, and parentheses for the square root, and another parentheses for finishing the numerator. Divide by 6. And I get that. The 7 is the hundredth digit, so with that 4, we round down, so I'd say 0.27. Wiggly equal sign, just as good as putting a dot on top. And for the other solution, instead of typing this all in all over again, I simply hit the shift key, the second key, and then enter, and it brings it up again. And now I can dance over here and change that plus sign, the add sign, to subtract sign, and I get -0.607. So the 0 is the hundredths place. I round up to -0.61. -0.61. And that concludes page 7. Thanks for watching.